Welcome to the Jeremy Kyle Show. We have particularly fascinating guests for you today. Our first guest regularly seeks justice as a masked vigilante. You all know him. He is the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Batman. Nice to have you on the show, Batman.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm sure the question on everyone's mind is, what makes you do what you do?
It doesn't matter why I do it. I'm a symbol that good will always rise to triumph against evil. I guess if I had to say a reason, though, it was probably my parents being gunned down. That or Arthur, our previous butler.
You had a butler before Alfred.
He used to get in the bath with me, pretended he was Ahab, looking for Moby Dick.
What happened to him?
He was caught and put in Arkham Asylum. As he was pulled away, he kept saying, "I'm not Batman." Well, I decided that I am Batman.
What do you say to the people that say you do more harm than good? That you provoke more and more darkly theatrical villains by your mere presence?
Did you see Gotham before I came along? It was getting almost as bad as Bath, everyone.
Now, let's not get carried away.
Never interrupt me, Jeremy. I'm Batman. Anyway, as I was saying, everyone is free to have an opinion. Theirs is just wrong.
Okay, calm down. We all love you here on the Jeremy Kyle Show. We just want to understand you better. Now, you've made quite a few enemies along the way. How do you deal with the constant threats and the monstrosities that you try to prevent?
Always be prepared, Jeremy. You see this belt? It's a lifesaver. Look at all the pockets. Even I don't know the extent of what's in there. Robin's foreskin. Memories.
Moving along, what can you tell us about your rogues gallery, as you call it?
Yeah, I have all sorts of insane criminals trying to defeat me all the time. If they all just got together and bought some guns, they might just have me. But they spend all their time devising theme-based crimes. Narcissism's their undoing.
The same has been said about you. Many people believe that you think you're above the law and are a narcissist, thrill-seeker hooked on being a hero.
That's ridiculous. I'm not a narcissist. I'm the rich, good-looking, unbeatable superhero. I'm Batman.
Well, our next guest came close to beating you. In fact, after your first meeting, he left you a little bent.
I was tired and out of shape. I am warmed up. The sun was in my eyes. He cheated. Bring him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a drug-dependent, violent criminal. Introducing Bane. Now, Bane, it is my understanding that you've been speaking with Graham in the back about your violent nature and addictive personality. Let's call Graham out so we can speak about your progress. Graham? Bane, what did you do to Graham?
He accused me of steroid abuse. His punishment had to be more severe.
Have you hurt him?
Of course. He was puny. So I broke his back.
Here we go again. One-trick pony.
Get the medics out there. Does it make you feel superior picking on those smaller than you? Well, you know what? You don't scare me.
Everyone is inferior to me. You do well to hold your tongue, little man.
What is it with you and bats, Bane? Some kind of fetish?
Don't go there, Batman. We all know that your outfit is 95% gimp suit and 5% curtains.
What?
I said.
I can't understand you. Have you got a chicken McNugget stuck in your throat?
Enough of this, or I will destroy you.
Enough. Sit down, both of you, please. Bane, it strikes me that you're just a mindless thug. I bet you aren't so big with all that venom pumping away in your veins.
Perhaps not quite as big. You should not have set your lapdog on me, Jeremy. I have expert knowledge in various scientific fields, can speak 6 active languages and 2 dead ones. What can you do other than tremble?
Well, it's my understanding that you were born in prison and inherited your father's life sentence. I understand why you're full of rage, I get it. But apparently, you've managed to become an educated man. Why not use your abilities to better the world?
I'm only interested in bettering my world. My priority is to rule the day and night. Not just a bunch of toothless junkies and a gormless audience of weaklings. Silence, you puny ignoramuses. You are like twiglets. Do you even lift?
Strength isn't everything, though I can bench press over 1,000 pounds.
Before I got on the good juice, I was well over 1,500 pounds. Now I can lift over 5 tons. You should try it, Batman. Imagine how formidable you could become.
No thanks, I like having testicles, and also not having breasts.
Before we bring out our next guest, have you got anything to say to Batman? This man you thought you'd destroyed and yet came back stronger and defeated you time and time again? Perhaps an apology, own up to your mistakes and be a real man?
You are a funny little man, Jeremy. As for you, Batman, I admire your strength. But perhaps calling your enemies on this ridiculous program shows the cracks of weakness. I will put you out of your misery if you become weak.
Try it.
Our next guest is a former psychologist, Dr. Jonathan Crane. You all know him as the man obsessed with fear, the Scarecrow. What a kind introduction, Jeremy. You look rattled, are you? Scared? Must you wear that hideous Scarecrow mask, Dr. Crane? What does it symbolize to you? Fear. It's intoxicating, is it not? Batman's the only one that can give me that wonderful terror anymore.
Get a room.
We all know your fear, Bane. The gym closing down. Apparently it all started in high school when you were humiliated constantly by a bully and rejected by every girl. You turned up at prom in a Scarecrow outfit and started shooting a gun. Seemingly, you turned your life around and became a semi-respectable psychologist. Why did you turn to crime? I invented my fear toxin, and suddenly the world was my oyster. Speaking of psychologists, that Graham character had a little dose of my fear toxin, and he was hallucinating, crawling around in terror with his bent back screaming, "Please, Jeremy, put your pants back on." You must have misheard. What sickness of the mind would cause you to derive so much pleasure from terrifying people? A pleasure we share, as I understand. I don't randomly terrorize people,
Don't get drawn in, Jeremy. Scarecrow's a pervert. He could talk you in a bed with a passport, a uni student.
How do you know?
Stop mumbling, Bane.
We ought to move on. We're pressed for time. I still have one more guest. I think it's fair to say this is the most dangerously insane man on Earth. For the audience's safety, we have him surrounded by armed men and constrained in a straitjacket. Introducing the man you have seen time and time again as the perpetrator of mass murders, he calls himself the Clown Prince of Crime. I call him disgusting. The Joker.
Lovely to finally meet you, Jeremy. Glad to hear you're a fan of my work.
Where is his straitjacket?
Oh, don't be silly. I can behave for a few minutes. Besides, I have cleared your schedule. I told those future guests of yours a killer joke. Absolutely side-splitting.
My God. Have you no remorse?
Don't be so serious, Jer. I don't mean to ruin your fun. As I understand it, they were probably better off with me than you. I let them die in dignity. Explosive whoopee cushions!
Security!
I wouldn't do that if I were you. I have this lovely little treasure of yours hanging from the ceiling. What's your name again, princess? That's one dynamite lass you have there, Jer. She's the bomb. Let us continue this delightful show, and I won't have to show off her explosive personality.
I'll stop you. I'm Batman.
Bats, you know better than to ruin my fun. Harley is watching in the back, and if she even gets the tiniest inkling of mischief, well then Miss Danier will bring the house down.
What do you want?
To continue this darling show.
And you won't hurt him.
You have my word as a gentleman and a scholar. Now, let's begin.
Well, I guess the question on everybody's mind is, what made you turn out this way? What caused you to become a sociopathic evil clown?
Well, it all started when my wife got up the duff. We were hard up. I had to work 2 jobs. Then I got cancer. There seemed to be no way out. My ex and her partner offered me money. They ran a billion-dollar company that could never have existed without me. My pride couldn't take it, so I decided to get a little naughty. I heard how much meth dealers make from my cop brother-in-law and me, a chemistry teacher.
This sounds a lot like Breaking Bad.
Great show.
It was false advertising. Too much meth, not enough breaking.
Why can't you face your past, Joker? Why don't you tell us your real name?
If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. What's in a name? This clown, by any other name, would be as psychotic. Besides, I really am that bad. Everywhere I go, I leave people smiling. Just ask Graham.
Joker, please, I'm begging you. Let us get Graham down.
Oh, go on then. I was hoping to use him as a piñata, but he seems to have fainted. Release him back into the wild, Harley dear.
He's not moving.
Let me have a look. I'm a practicing chiropractor.
No! Let's feed him to the audience!
No, let's pull his pants down and take pictures.
That's enough. You're all going back to Arkham Asylum. Show's over.
Not Arkham! We may not escape for a whole hour!
Silence! This is my show. You've belittled me in front of my audience. You've ruined my Graham. You sit there and I tell you what is wrong with you. That is how this show works. I look good and you look like dirt.
Graham's waking up.
Calm down, Jeremy. We wouldn't want your dark side coming out.
Graham? My God, you look awful.
Please call me Graham no longer, for I am Hugo Strange. You see, when I was hanging from the ceiling, crippled, hallucinating with a frazzled brain, I had an epiphany. I had been wasting my life trying to help the useless dregs of society. Well, no more. Now I have but two goals. First, I will punish the Batman for allowing these criminals to roam free, time and time again. Second, I will rule Gotham, and then the world!
But you are so puny.
Ah, Bane. Born in a prison, and yet he survived. But you never were born in a prison, were you, Bane? I suppose Neverland was a kind of prison. You desperately wanted his attention, didn't you? The only boy Michael Jackson would never touch. He said you weren't big enough, and now you are addicted to being the biggest boy around.
Make him stop.
And you, Scarecrow, I know the origins of your fear. That ragged old Scarecrow on your father's farm. You hated it. You feared it. What a betrayal to come home and find your mother in bed with it.
Now that's what I call television. Where's the popcorn?
Graham, what's the meaning of this?
Silence, Jeremy. I no longer have to listen to you. No more will I let you paddle me in the naughty room.
You don't want me as your enemy, Hugo Strange?
Batman, you poor deluded Dark Knight. I already know your identity. It took me moments to figure it out.
Impossible. How?
Come on. How many people in Gotham could afford these big toys? How can nobody else see this?
Batman is Hugh Hefner?
How does it make you feel, Dark Knight, knowing that you could have stopped so many atrocities if you just grew a pair of nuts and killed these lunatics?
Nice try, Hugo, but I don't want to get rid of him. If you heard of the Punisher, that guy has to work part-time at KFC, he's so bored.
Ooh, do me next. Get it right, or I'll kill you.
Enough! My show, my rules, my fun. Go wait in the car, Graham.
You can't tell me.
Do it now or I'll get the paddle.
No, please!
Yeah, he's gonna get paddled anyway.
Jeremy, what's going on? I'm not gonna have to kick your ass, am I?
Leave something for me, Batman.
You think you could stop me?
Who do you think you are?
I am Jeremy Kyle. Jeremy Vile, Lucifer. Mephistopheles, Satan, and Justin Bieber. I am pure evil. You dare come on my show and ruin my fun. This is my torture chamber. I collect all the useless dregs of society and then I bully them and drink their tears. This perverse audience applauds me. Then I get a big, fat check. No one can stop me.
My anti-Jeremy spray could.
No way! What did you do? I'm melting!
I gotta get me one of those belts. Now, how about we all pay Jerry Springer a visit?
I'm in.
Me too.
Oh, what the hell? You guys deserve a little fun. It is Christmas. But after that, I'm beating you all senseless.
It's a date. Now, if you're affected by any of the issues on today's show, then please keep it to yourself. I'd hate to have to feed you to one of my killer goldfish.